It's the Barbara Show, coming your way with a smile today. Down the humorous path with a lark and a laugh. It's the Barbara Show. The Barbara Show. Welcome to Humorous Adventures with Barbara.
Welcome again to the Humorous Adventures with Barbara. This episode is about the years in high school, graduating high school to beginning of college. Now, while I was still in high school, my brother, who's 6 years older than me, gave me an invitation to visit him in college. And I thought, great, this is a chance that I can meet college men. I think a lot of things that I did motivated by meeting men. So I thought, great, I'll bring one of my best friends to see Danny in his dorm in college. We arrive, and then I needed to go to the restroom. So I thought I could figure that out. I could find the restroom myself. I go to the bathroom, I sit down on the toilet, and because I had nothing better to do while I'm sitting there, I look beside me and I see thick, hairy legs. And I thought to myself, oh no, I'm in the men's room. What am I going to do? I quickly get up. I run into my brother's room. I'm like, Danny, I'm so embarrassed. I went into the men's room. And he started laughing and said, you didn't go in the men's room. It's a co-ed dorm. This is what we do. I thought, well, I grew up in a family with a father and two older brothers, but I knew them very well, and we weren't in the bathroom at the same time. It was a little different. That evening, I'm dressed up. I think I'm looking pretty good. And we go to the bar. To what? Meet college men. And as I'm walking into the bar, these men are looking at me, and I'm smiling, and they're smiling back. And then, all of a sudden, they weren't smiling, and they had funny looks on their faces. I can't understand what's going on because I'm thinking I'm looking good. I look around, and then I look behind me. It's my big brother with a scowl on his face saying quietly, don't even think about messing with my baby sister. Well, he's ruining the whole thing. I mean, I'm here to meet college men. I turn around. I said, Danny, get away from me. You're cramping my style. But what can I say? He's my big brother, and he's overprotective, and I love him for it. But, okay, onward with another story. Now it's time for me to go to college. And I was going to the University of Massachusetts, which is 2 hours west. And I knew that no longer did I have my nucleus of friends. They knew me very well. I really didn't have to do anything. They liked me, I liked them. But now that I'm living 2 hours away at the University of Massachusetts, it's sink or swim. You need to make new friends or you have no friends. So I was taking all my belongings, packing up, and since my parents also could retire to a warmer climate, they were also packing up because the baby, me, was leaving the nest. They could move to a warmer climate, to either Florida or eventually California, and I'm moving away to school. So I had taken ceramics and I made a napkin holder. It was the weirdest looking napkin holder you've ever seen in your entire life. It was black and white polka dots. It kind of curved around. It had fingerprints in it. But my mother said it was wonderful. And it was our napkin holder on our kitchen table growing up since I made it. And she was wrapping that up to pack with her to go to their new house. But then the vase that I made in ceramics, it also had finger mark indentations. It was a little lopsided. Well, here's a picture of it. You can see for yourself. My mother was picking it up and ready to throw it in the trash can. I was mortified. She told me this was beautiful. I said, Ma, what are you doing? You said you love that vase. So she started laughing. She said, well, I said, I'm taking it. I'm taking this vase. I worked really hard on it. I love it. And I brought it with me to college. And I put it on our kitchen table. And when my friends came over, I asked them, how much you think I paid for that? And I know they thought it was goofy looking, but they said, well, maybe $100, $200. And then I would tell them the truth. I have it to this day in my house. I love it. It's my creative expression. Now, while I was in college, we would take turns going back home to Boston during college breaks. And we stopped at a Howard Johnson's one time to get something to eat. And I was following this woman to the restroom. I mean, I didn't really know where it was, but I thought I'll just follow her. She seems to be going that way, or looked like she was going that way. And I follow her right into the bathroom when all of a sudden I'm in the middle of the bathroom with all these men peeing in urinals. The woman I thought I was following was a man with very long hair. I only saw the back of him, her. Who knew? Now, I know if you've heard me talk about my hair before, I know I obsess about my hair, but it's only because the style all my life growing up was long, straight hair, and I had this kinky, thick, curly ball of hair that was uncontrollable. So my college roommate said to me, I have that same type of hair. Look at my hair. You should get it cut this way. I thought, no, this is too scary. I need to be able to pull it, control it, because it's just so wild. She said, do it. Trust me, it'll be so easy for you. I thought I'd take a chance. I went to Boston, and the guy that she recommended turned me away from the mirror and started cutting my hair. So I really didn't know or couldn't see exactly what he was doing. And then when he was all done, he turned me around, and it was something like this. And it made me look so different. I couldn't believe it. I thought, what have I done? Oh, I was so scared. I didn't know what people would think. I went outside. It was wintertime. And for the first time, the cold air against my neck, because my long hair had always covered it, it was such a weird experience. Anyway, the reason I was home was it was going to be the first high school football game during Thanksgiving since I went to college. And I was walking around with my friends and waving to people that I knew, and no one was saying hello to me. And I thought, what's going on? I haven't been gone that long. They didn't recognize me. That's how different my hair looked. And I think you could see from previous pictures that I've shown you, it is a big difference, me having the long hair and this. But they actually didn't even know who I was. Now, I love how hair could really change you, because I always wanted the kind of long, straight hair you'd see in the commercials. Whew, you could go like this, whew, and the hair would just swish, swish, and be beautiful. My hair never swished, even when I had it straight. It was, I had to put so many products in it, it never swished. So for Halloween one time, I got this long black wig. Here's a picture of me. Doesn't it make me look different? I love that wig. Any chance on Halloween, I'd put it on, but I don't have it anymore. But it was fun. Now, I'm changing the subject a little bit, and this is about knowing your calling in life. I didn't really know necessarily what I wanted to be. My mother said, get your degree in education because you can always fall back on it. And of course, I listened to everything my mother says. Even though I thought I wanted to be a psychologist, my mother, and as it turns out, if I didn't do the last thing, I wouldn't have been qualified for the next thing. So I am so happy how my path was evolving. But the reason I'm mentioning this is I knew very early in life that I never wanted to be a doctor or a nurse. Why? Because just the sight of blood made me queasy. Such a baby about it. I just couldn't stand it. I remember when I have to get blood taken from me, I couldn't even watch when they put the needle in, or the feeling of the needle, or to even look at the vial. So to this day, what I do, anytime I have to give blood or get a blood test, I take my fingernails. So this could be a tip if you're like me. I take my fingernails and I dig it into my arm like this. So it just hurts so much on the side, I don't even know what's going on over there, and I don't even want to look. I just can't stand blood, and I can't stand shots. From being just a little girl, when I would go to the doctor, my mother said, if I don't cry after I get a shot, I'll get a toy. And somehow, if I got that little round Band-Aid to put over where they stuck me with the shot, it made it all better. Not that there was any blood from the shot. It's just, ooh. Anyway, that's just me. Now, one time I was babysitting, and I think the girl might have been about 6, and the boy about 4. And they were jumping up and down, and I told them, don't be jumping up and down anymore. And they jumped, the little boy jumped up one extra time, and he hit his head on the headboard. And I said, Bobby, what did you do that for? And then he took his hand and he showed me blood. I started screaming. I didn't know what to do. I mean, I might have been babysitting, but thank goodness his relatives lived next door, and they ended up, it wasn't that bad, but I was freaking out about the blood. Now, when I was born, I went to the same doctor ever since I was born. And so no matter how old I got, my pediatrician would see me. So if there was a college break, even while I was still in college, I'd be in the waiting room waiting for the doctor to see me, and there'd be all these mothers with their children, and they'd be looking at me, where are my children? Well, there were no children. It was me the doctor was seeing. I would get on the table, and even with the baby scales there, because he knew everything about me. And so, I felt really good being in good hands with my pediatrician, even at the ripe old age of 22. But anyway, I look forward to seeing you next time with the humorous adventures of Barbara.
It's the Barbara Show. It's the Barbara Show. Coming your way.